Chocolate chip cookies are a household classic all around the world, but did you know that they were made by accident? Today I'll be showing you how to make chocolate peanut butter chip cookies, a twist on the classic chocolate chip cookie. There will be 9 easy steps to follow at home and a list of materials that are things that you should have at your house, besides maybe 1 or 2. So I'll go over the materials right now. First, you'll need an oven. You can't see my oven, but it's right over there. And then you'll need 3 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of brown sugar. You'll need chocolate chips and peanut butter chips, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 2 sticks of room temperature butter, 2 eggs, a mixer, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, along with a bowl to mix with, separate than the mixer, probably a spoon, whisk, a spatula, and 1 or 2 cookie sheets. Before we start with any of the 9 easy steps, you want to make sure that you have your hair pulled back out of your face so it doesn't get in the food. You want to wash your hands and then make sure you have all the materials so you don't start baking then realize that you don't have something. I think everyone's done that a time or two and it's the worst thing ever. So the first step is to preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And while that's starting to preheat, you can begin mixing your dry ingredients. I want to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and whisk it all up together. I want to set that off to the side so we can move on to our next step, which will be the wet ingredients. That's what they're called. Not all of them are wet, but that will start by adding your 2 sticks of butter to the mixer and add 1 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of brown sugar to the mix. It can get stuck in the measuring cup sometimes, so you just gotta tap it out so it all falls out. And then you'll want to mix that on a low setting. Adding your eggs and vanilla. It doesn't matter which order you put these in, so I'm just gonna crack an egg in here. Be careful not to get any shells in the batter. That will definitely not taste good. People will not like that very much. We're just doing 2 eggs right into the batter, the same batter that has the butter and sugars. Then you'll want to mix that in while you get your vanilla ready. You'll want 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1, 2. That should be good. Then you just need it to mix up. The next step after your eggs and vanilla are mixed in is you're going to want to take your dry mixture from earlier and slowly add it into the wet mixture. I like to do this by adding in little cups of it. This is a 1/2 cup. It doesn't really matter. You just don't want to pour it all in at once or it's going to go everywhere. And you do this while it's mixing so it slowly mixes in. It's going to be a little process, but it's the best process that I've found. Once your flour is done mixing, you should be able to see your cookie dough forming. Before, it's just a little sloshy egg mixture that didn't look too appetizing, but now you can tell that's cookie dough. And the final step of making the cookie dough is adding the chocolate chips and peanut butter chips. So the kind of chocolate chips I'm using are Nestle Toll House dark chocolate, but you can also use semi-sweet or milk chocolate or even white chocolate if that's what you want. That's why this is such a good recipe, is you can add any kind of chips that you want. Peanut butter, not peanut butter, white chocolate, confetti, and you're gonna wanna add about 1/2 bag. It's really just eyeballing it, depending on how many chips you like. But I think that 1/2 bag is just about right for this amount of cookie dough. And then I've got Reese's peanut butter chips that I'm also going to add about a half a bag of. And then you'll just want to mix that in with the electric mixer. And once those chips are mixed in, you're done with the cookie dough part of the process. Next, you're going to start forming cookie dough balls to put into the oven. I like to use a little spoon, just a normal tablespoon, like normal eating spoon. Just grab an amount of the dough that fits into the spoon and put it onto the tray just like that, using your finger to push it out off of the spoon. And you'll just repeat that about 11 times onto one cookie sheet, depending on how big your cookie sheet is and how big your scoops are. Once you have all the cookies scooped, it should look something like this. And we're gonna put it into the oven for the final step. You can put it anywhere in the oven, anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes. It really depends on how hot your oven is and how your cookies bake. So you'll want to keep an eye on it. Once you put the first batch in the oven, you'll want to set a timer on your phone, on your microwave, or if you have a really cute little timer, a manual timer, you can use that too. And while those cookies are baking, you'll want to start on your second cookie sheet. You'll know that the cookies are done and ready to be taken out of the oven when they're a little bit golden around the edges. And then you'll want to put in your next set of cookies. You'll want to repeat this process of scooping and baking cookies till you run out of cookie dough. This recipe made me 3 dozen cookies, and once they're cooled down, don't forget to share them with friends and family. I'm going to bring in cookie expert Dave Burns to test these cookies. Thank you. This easy 9-step cookie recipe is perfect for any occasion or no occasion at all. And they're good if they pass the Dave Burn test. So try this out for yourself at home using any array of chocolate chips or peanut butter chips, whatever you want, and I'm sure it'll impress anybody. This was how to make chocolate peanut butter chip cookies with Kaylee Burns.